Valerie Lucio, and before I get started, I do have my script on my laptop right here. So if you guys see me looking at the side, it's because I'm reading off my script. But anyways, throughout the semester, my goal was to better understand how suspense works in literature and why authors use it. Before taking this class, I mostly thought that suspense only existed in horror movies, thrillers, or mysteries, where something scary or dangerous was always happening. As the semester went on, I realized that suspense can be created in many different ways. It can come from emotions, relationships, uncertainty, and even the way information is revealed to the reader. Looking back, I do believe I met my learning goal because I now notice techniques like foreshadowing, point of view, pacing, and how authors slowly reveal details to keep readers engaged. The first good story that really stood out to me was Convenience Store Woman. I connected with it because it explored the pressure people feel to fit into society's expectations. The suspense isn't about physical danger, but more about wondering whether the main character would continue living the life that made her feel happy or continue living a life that would make her fit into society's expectations, which is out of the norm compared to horror movies. This story is more about the uncertainty of it. I thought it was interesting because it's a type of suspense that feels realistic. Many people experience pressure to fit in or follow the same path as everyone else, so I could understand why the main character struggled with those expectations. Another reading I really enjoyed was Story of Your Life. This story changed the way I think about suspense because it didn't rely on action or fear. Instead, the suspense came from trying to understand what was happening as Louise learned to communicate with the aliens. Every chapter slowly revealed more information, and each new discovery made me rethink about what I had already read. I found myself wanting to continue reading because I wanted to understand how everything connected. I thought it was a really creative way to build suspense by making readers curious instead of simply frightened. The last reading that stood out to me was Man on the Stairs by Miranda Julie. I liked how the suspense came almost entirely from the narrator's thoughts and imagination. Throughout the story, I wasn't sure whether the danger was real or if it was mostly created by the narrator's fear and anxiety. Even though there wasn't a lot of action, I still felt nervous while reading it because of the uncertainty made the story tense. It showed to me that suspense can come from ordinary situations if the author builds enough emotional tension. When I look back at all these readings together, I realize they all use suspense to explore important real-life issues instead of entertaining the reader. Convenience Store Woman focused on identity and society's expectations. Story of Your Life explored communications, relationship, and accepting difficult realities. The Man on the Stairs explored fear, anxiety, and how our minds make uncertain situations feel much worse. Reading these stories helped me understand that suspense can make readers think more deeply about important topics while keeping them interested in the story. Overall, this class completely changed my understanding of suspense. At the beginning of the semester, I thought suspense was mostly about keeping readers on the edge of their seats with scary or dramatic moments. Writers use suspense to make readers connect with characters, think critically about important themes, and stay invested in their story. This class has changed the way I read books and watch movies because I pay attention to how much authors and filmmakers build suspense. I know I'll continue noticing these techniques long after class is over. Thank you all for listening.